We've got a sizable little Chaos Space Marine army, you know. We've got some cool infantry, we've got some interesting characters, but we are missing one thing, some big, heavy firepower. And I've got just that with me today. We've got ourselves a Forgefiend. Look at the size of this boy. He's absolutely massive. He's cool. I say that, he's missing half of his stuff. We've like sub-assembled all the weapons. So even though he's got none of the weapons or some arms, he's still an absolute unit, and I am buzzing to paint this, which is exactly what we're going to do in this video. We're going to paint this boy up as a Red Corsair. And here is the Forgefiend in all of its glory, and my god, there is some glory. This thing is unbelievable. It's massive. Oh, it's so cool and like chunky. I love these huge armor panels with the cool like iconography trim. I feel like that's gonna look so good when it's painted all red and black. I love the spikes coming out, and then also all of the like biometrics kind of stuff. The whole like muscles are like interwoven with like bits of metal, and like these cables here that are coming out of here, like flesh and cables all interwoven. I guess as well we've also got all of the sub-assemblies over here. So the 2 guns, a bunch of the shoulder pads, and then like these vents. Just because it's such a big, iconic, cool model, it's going to look incredible. I want to get into every nook and cranny and do it justice. Yeah. So how are we going to paint it here and do it justice? Well, I've started off with a priming of silver, just because we paint all of the trim. Normally with my Red Corsairs, we do a layer of silver and then a layer of Black Templar contrast over the top for the silver trim. So I'm just trying to find, there we go. So yeah, this is like a normal Red Corsair Raider. So the trim here is that mix, like I just said, of silver and Black Templar. And I figured I just spray it silver. That's one coat of the trim done already, so it'll just save a lot of time. So what I like to do for my mechanical vehicle kind of vibe for my Red Corsairs is a layer of brass scorpion, so a nice bright bronze colour. And then what we do is put a little bit of Larnium medium and some red Flesh Tearer's red contrast over the top, and that makes this really nice metallic shiny red. So just to show a little example here, we've already put down a layer of brass scorpion, and if we just grab a little bit of Larnium medium just to sort of like make the surface wet so the contrast has something to sit on and diffuse. There we go. And then we wash our brush off, grab a little bit of Flesh Tearer's red, and then just move that around the panel. Yeah, you can kind of see that because it's got that layer of Larnium medium down, it kind of sits on top of it and you can move it around quite easily and freely. It also kind of thins it out already. So yeah, I just thought I'd do one quick panel just to show how it is and what you do with it, and then after this we'll cut to some like painting montage where I'll do the same all over because there's so many panels. I'm going to be putting down this brass scorpion for like 6 working days probably. So we'll do all that, and then also I'll do the trim like I mentioned. I can just put Black Templar contrast over all the silver, to be fair, which would be quite a nice make up for the fact that it's going to take me 2 weeks to put brass scorpion everywhere. So just a little bit in this corner. There we go, just tidying up those edges. Sweet, so yeah, and when that dries, I mean, you can kind of see it already. It's a little bit shiny because it's wet, but once that dries, you get that nice sort of like brass scorpion, like seeping through the bottom, that hint of the Flesh Tearer's red on top to make a nice, bright, vibrant metallic red. Right, about 4 days later, in real time, that's all of the red and the black panels done. And I'm jokingly saying it took 4 days. It did only take like 2. But oh my god, it's worth every second. This looks unbelievable. Oh, I'm always in 2 minds with these huge minis because they look incredible. They're so, so cool. Like, look at all of that on the face, like how big and chunky it is. They just take forever, man. There's so many coats of paint. I did all of this, and I also did like the shoulder guards that are going to be like on his side. So I guess I'll take one off and we can pretend to put it on this side, I think it is. Yeah, oh, look how cool that looks. In fact, I think I've got the gun that goes over here as well. So maybe we can get a sneak peek at the whole package. Oh yeah, okay, that looks really good. Oh wow. Yeah, that's given me a little bit of motivation to carry on because This was a little bit of a slog, but now that I'm seeing all the big black and red and heavy and dark sort of vibe, ooh, yeah, I'm very excited to carry on with this dude. Right, so what is next? What are we going to carry on with? Well, luckily we primed everything in silver, so all these little silver bits, like the rivets and stuff, we don't actually have to paint. We can just start slapping Nuln Oil on. Oh, you know what's crazy is I've been painting Warhammer now for about 1.5 years, and I'm yet to have, until today, spoiler alert, a massive mess up. I say massive. It's not model ending, but it is god frustrating. So, just by handling the mini, I don't know how it's happened. I think I'm holding onto this pot of Rakarth Flesh, or I got some on like my thumb, and I picked up the mini, and yeah, just big splodge of Rakarth Flesh on the top and on the knee down here. Oh, it's so annoying. Luckily, this top one, I think, let's just grab some Black Templar and see if we can go over the top. Like I mentioned, I think this is the first big mess up I've had where I've got a big splotch of paint somewhere and it's dried like real quick, or I've just kind of missed it and then it's dried over time. But God, that's annoying as hell. Well, maybe this Black Templar will cover it. It's just kind of annoying because I just did some dry brushing and made it a little bit more metallic there. And then what's down here on the knee? I feel like I need to be really conscious and careful of how I'm holding it now. I guess this front panel was Black Templar, and that pad there was Abaddon. It's kind of annoying, it's going to go over some of the highlights, so I might have to re-highlight it, but just really annoyed me. I wanted to vent about it. Oh, actually, I think it will be okay. Maybe I just need to be a little bit more careful and a bit slower paced. Right, so there's all of the skin done as well, and this is looking really nice. Yeah, it's definitely added a lot to the mini. I feel like it was very bare before that, and it's definitely flushed out this underside. It's not the best skin, a little bit messy and patchy. The whole vibe is kind of cool. I like that sort of, like I like highlighting skin because you can get, and muscle, because you can get nice and scratchy and irregular because it is like an organic, natural thing. But some sections are a little bit all over the place. Also, speaking of a state, this metal is covered in Rakarth Flesh and Riekland Fleshshade. So my whole idea of priming the mini silver so I wouldn't have to paint all these inside bits kind of backfired because I'm having to go back over and tidy it up. So that's what I'm going to do quickly, probably off camera. You don't really want to see me go around patching up all these tiny little bits and probably re-putting down Nuln Oil. I guess the next thing you'll see, what do I want to do next? I guess I can put the gold on all of these like spikes up here. They're going to be gold. So is this face section. Maybe do the teeth some kind of bone colour. And then we can move on to the fun and exciting plasma glow. And honestly, that might be it. Right, so we've just done the gold trim, like all of the spikes on the back, some little bits on the face, oh, and the teeth, and he's looking really cool. It's added a lot to the mini, and I'm really, really happy with how it's coming out. Yeah, it's really, really good. I think it was getting a bit dark and heavy with all of the red and black, so I feel like adding the gold has really helped like have little cool accents and little extra details to brighten up the overall vibe. Really big fan of it.
I just put down Nuln Oil on all of the red, not red, gold, sorry, rather than Riekland Fleshshade, just because there's so much red on the mini already. I didn't want to use a red wash over gold, because I do really like how Fleshshade looks over gold, but like I said, there's just a bit too much red, so just trying to dirty it up a little bit. I'm just doing all of the other endless pieces of extra gold teeth, so like each of these shin pads or shoulders, sorry, I've got some like teeth that I'm going to do gold. The guns have got gold details on them. There's just a lot, so I'm just doing all that off camera quickly until we move on to probably the plasma glow. It just got me thinking, like, when I first started the channel, my unique selling point, my idea was, when I paint to make videos, I want to show every single part of the process, every brushstroke, every section. Like, for example, I'm doing these, like I said, shoulder pads, and I'll be like, right, let me film every like thing, every like spike, all of this. I thought that would be my thing, like I show all of it. If you're new to the channel, you'll notice that I don't do that anymore, and that's for good reason, because the videos got obscenely long. I think it was around about the time when I did the Crusade Ancient, with the Black Templar with the big banner, and yeah, that video was like 50 minutes long, and then I did some Space Wolf characters, and they were like 55 minutes long, and the videos were just getting obscene. And then I got some good feedback as well from some of my viewers, saying how like, it's a bit much, like tone the videos down, they're a bit too long and we don't need to see everything. So I've done that, I've toned it down a bit, kind of just show the main bulk of it and some extra bits here and there, and it's really helped like shorten the videos. And I think it makes the viewing like experience a lot better. But I'm just thinking, as I'm doing this, I couldn't imagine filming every single little spike I'm doing, every single piece of trim on every gun, shoulder, foot. Like, oh my god, I just think back on like, what was I thinking? Like, some of these projects would be an hour plus long. It's obscene. So yeah, we've got these plasma coils coming up next, and the recipe I'm going to go for is actually from Games Workshop themselves. So I got these Forgefiends in the Combat Patrol magazines. That was at issue 89 and 90, I think. Yeah, look at that. I mean, technically they're listed as Forgefiends, but I mean, it's the same sprue. So yeah, I brought this Combat Patrol magazine. That's where I got the Forgefiend from, and inside of it, it's actually got a cheeky little guide on how to paint plasma weapons. I've tried it out once already on something else. I really liked it, so I am going to give this a go. So it says here, we're going to go for the blue one. I'm not going to use the Calgar and Macragge. I do own these colours, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same two bluey green colours that I'm using across all of my Red Corsairs. So anytime my Red Corsairs have got like a glowing effect, I'm using the same one. So it's like a unique little kind of flair that my army has. Cool bit of coherency. And those two colours are Baharroth Blue, there it is, and Sotek Green. So what does that mean for this recipe? So what we need to do first is a base coat of Corax White, which we've already done. And then after that, we're going to take the Calgar Blue, which is the brighter of the two colours, and just put a base coat over all of this, basically, all over. And then we're going to get the darker, which will be Sotek Green, and turn it into like a wash, like really thin it down so it sits in between all the coils and acts as like a recess shade. And yeah, it's really, really good. And then after that, it says to highlight with White Scar. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some Blue Horror. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like the next one up, well, next one up, maybe two up, but it's like a much brighter version. Still got that grey, bluey vibe, but just a lot brighter. So I had a nice edge highlight there. And there is that 1, 2, 3 kind of plasma glow approach, the Baharroth Sotek, and then I highlighted it with some Blue Horror. Looking okay, nice and simple. I don't want to go too over the top and crazy. This is definitely something I want to work on, like getting a glow around the plasma, but we are going to work on that in the very near future. Don't worry, that's coming. Just one last thing I want to do is I've got some Blue Horror here, really heavily watered down. In fact, I might even just water it a bit more. And then what I'm hoping to do is maybe use a smaller brush, actually. Yeah, I just want to run it along the bottom, just so like it's almost like a little glowing effect. I'll do it on the inside first in case it messes up. So yeah, just literally like, there we go, that's perfect. Just really, actually, maybe a little bit more. A little bit watery, very watery, sorry. Just run a little bit down the bottom, so it almost looks like a sort of glowing effect coming out the bottom, where it would be the hottest. Right, now with that plasma glow done, we've just got 2 things left, and then we're done. Well, I say 2, it's 1 thing, but it's the same thing both times. It's basically these
vents slash skull situation. So you can see I've already started painting it gold. I just got a little bit, well, not distracted, because this was the distraction. I was doing something else. Started with this, and was like, no, we need to be back on task. But my plan for these is, like you can see, going to paint them gold, same as these skulls here. Going to paint all this gold, and then what I want to do as well is put a little bit of Baharroth Blue in some of the mouths and the eyes to emulate that it's like the plasma coming out. Well, actually, I need to do that down here as well. And here he is, our Red Corsair Forgefiend, and oh my god, what a model. I feel like I've got quite a bit to say about this guy, but let's just start off with the good, man. This is such an incredible sculpt of a mini. Like, I love all of the intermingling flesh and mechanical parts, the huge like vents on the side and all the glowing plasma. Yeah, this was a joy to paint, and this is such a cool mini. I guess if we start with the good, like I just mentioned, the intermingling flesh and mechanics I love. Is my favourite part about the model. It's so cool. Like, I guess, let's zoom into the legs first of all. Yeah, like all of this down here, like the legs, where it's like chunks of big muscle and flesh, and then you've got like the mechanical like pipes and pistons and all the bolts, like, yeah, this like huge demon flesh weaved on the top of the mechanicus. Like, it's so cool. On his neck just there, I guess it's kind of hard to see, but like, yeah, all the pipes underneath the flesh, I absolutely love it. There's one tiny part of the mini that's my favourite. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Basically, where that, yeah, kind of in there where the face and the neck, there's like a gap just here. There's like some flesh, like, so you can kind of see through the armor. There is some flesh underneath, especially when you couple it with the bit underneath here, like all the wires and like the flesh. And it was like, you can see it's running through the body. And then I guess if you go to the back, yeah, like even the cables at the back, it's like it's running through the whole body, then coming out the bottom down here, and it's just pipes with like flesh wrapped around the top and whatnot. Here, just like a chunk of flesh over the top of a piston. Yeah, that's definitely my favourite part of the mini. I absolutely love it. It's so cool. Yeah, one thing I don't like though, and I feel really bad saying this because it's not the mini's fault, it's my painting and the paint job, is it feels a bit like homogeneous. I don't know if that's the right word, but like it's just a lot of the three colours, a lot of red, a lot of black, and then a lot of this fleshy colour down here. Just feels like a big kind of blob of like the same three colours. There's not a lot of variety. I don't know. I did add some highlights too, so I did actually finish this. I thought that like it looked all the same, so I did some highlights to this flesh here before the teeth, to some like pallid witch flesh to try and differentiate it, because the Zandri Dust and the Rakarth Flesh teeth thing, this all melded into a blob of colour, same as here. So I kind of added some highlights that kind of help a little bit, and in the same vein I added a little bit more blue just on the underbelly down there, like that plasma glowing out, which is also like my second favourite thing about the mini, but we'll get onto that in a sec. I just think there's a bit too much red, and I don't think my application of the contrast was great. It's a little bit patchy in some sections back here, but I do like that metallic bronze brass base with the red contrast on top. It makes a really cool big shiny demon engine. Like, I love the metallic vibe on the armor. Like, so I do like the shiny red. I just think it's a bit too much, too like, yeah, homogeneous, too just a blob of the same color. So yeah, just a little personal thing. Like, I think maybe I could have added a bit more variety. I really like though the gold and the blue accents. Like, I love all these gold extras. I wasn't sure if I wanted these spikes to be gold, but now that it's on it, I love it so much. I add so much like extra flair and like pizzazz to it. But yeah, I also love these like blue plasma coils. They look so cool, and they stand out against the red and the black so vibrantly. I wish I was confident enough and knew how to do like glowing effects without an airbrush. Like, I know people say you can dry brush around the edges, like the blue, I guess it'd be Baharroth. I've tried it before, I'm not that great at it. So I kind of wish, maybe that's something I can work on to like make it look better, and something I wish I could do. But like for what we've done here, I love all the little bits like on the eyes of this, the gold up here, like it's kind of all the energy, like all the energy from the plasma is radiating outwards anywhere it can, kind of down here on the face a little bit. And then yeah, like I mentioned, that underbelly. So yeah, I love all of the interweaving like flesh with the mechanical parts. Like I think demon engines might kind of be one of my new favorite things. I do, just looking over what I've painted already, I do love the Dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts might be my favourite minis, but like, this has really opened my eyes to how much I enjoy demon engines, and yeah, that interweaving flesh and mechanical parts are really cool. And then I guess one thing to do is to just do a little army display now. So we've got all of the Red Corsair Reavers? No? Red Corsair Raiders, there we go. At the front of the display case here, we got our set of the bikes at the, on the sides, some Legionaries and some Raptors at the back. And then if we go down to the bottom shelf, there he is, that mighty Forgefiend, right behind the Huron Blackheart and his little group that's painted, and the Demon Prince. So yeah, just thought I'd show off a nice little display case I've got for my Red Corsairs now. Nice little army display all building up. There it is, a big chunky Forgefiend added to the army, and yeah, I'm really glad I got these because I feel like the army was a lot of infantry, like Legionaries, Raptors, Red Corsair Raiders, Huron, the Traitor Guardsmen, they're just over there. Or you can see the Black Templars, but the Red Corsairs are just one over. But yeah, I feel like there's lots of infantry, lots of objective units, and now I feel like we've got some big chunky firepower. They can just sit back in a firing lane and poke out and just like mow down some stuff. So yeah, really nice addition to the army, and just a joy to paint. Really, really good. I do have a second one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm definitely going to change up the colour scheme a little bit, just so I'm not feeling so, I don't know, like I said, a bit homogenous. So maybe spice up some of the colour changes. But no, keen to paint that up and add that to the army, because two of them is just like some just unbelievable, like heavy support from the back of the army as like the infantry charge up, the Forgefiends just like blasting down the lanes. I'm really excited to play with them, which is what I'm actually going to do. So I guess I'm recording this, I'm doing it tomorrow, but if you're watching this while the video goes live, it'll be right now. As you're watching this, if it's gone live, I'm actually playing a game of 11th. So next week's video might, or probably will actually be playing my first game of 11th with my Chaos. So if you're keen to see that, drop a subscribe so you don't miss that upload. And if you want to support the channel even further, there's a Patreon link in the description. You get lovely little perks like getting your names in the credits of these lovely people. There's also a Discord link down there. Discord's free. Just a nice way to build a community, show me your models and stuff, and give me tips on how to paint. As always, thank you for watching though, and tune in next time.